Hi Reception, thanks for joining us today for our first literacy lesson of the week. Now, we're going to be learning this week about information texts. Now, I'd like you to pause the video now and think about what you know about the word information. Super job. Information is lots of different things that we can learn, and we could find out information on lots of things. You could find out information about space and find out lots of things about the planets. You could find out information about your favourite cars and learn all about how fast they go and how they work. And we're going to be looking at information texts. Now, the story that we're going to look at today is called The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Now, I know you've looked at this before with Mrs. Hutt in your maths lesson, but we're going to do something very different with it today. We're going to be looking at whether Eric Carle, that's the author, the man who wrote it, whether he used fact or fiction on different parts of his story. Now, they are two new words, aren't they? Fact and fiction. And we're going to be talking more about these words in our lesson today. By the end of this lesson, you're going to be able to talk about fact and fiction and pick out different parts of this story that were based on either fact or fiction. You're going to need, for the end of this lesson, when you do your work on your own, you're going to need to either have this printed off, your help can help you, or if you can't print it off, that's okay. You can just look at it on a screen and you can talk about it. Now, let's start reading our story, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. I'm hungry, he thought. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through two pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through three plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, one, two, three, four. He ate through four strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. Oh dear. Now on Saturday, he ate some chocolate cake, an ice cream cone, some Swiss cheese, some salami, a lollipop, some cherry pie, a sausage, a cupcake, and some watermelon. And that night he had a tummy ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through one nice green leaf, and after that he felt much better. Look at that! He's changed. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He's really changed, hasn't he, from eating all that food? He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. What a fantastic story. Now, in this story, the author, Eric Carle, that's the man who wrote the story, he uses some information to help him to write the story. But there are other parts of the story that he doesn't use information for. He uses his imagination. Well done. And we're going to be looking at which parts he used information for and which parts he used his imagination for. Let's take a look. So, now our lollipop has just disappeared. So imagine there's a lovely lollipop here, reception. So in the story, Eric Carle talks about the caterpillar eating through a lollipop, our invisible lollipop. Maybe the caterpillar's eaten it up already. So, do we think that is a fact or is that fiction? Well, let's think about what those words mean. A fact is the information. So a fact is something that is true, that does happen. Let's have a look. A fact is something that is true and that does happen or has happened. So a fact would be crocodiles have sharp teeth. That's a fact. We know that crocodiles have sharp teeth. It's also a fact that sometimes we see rainbows in the sky. That's a fact. Rainbows are sometimes in the sky. That's true. Now, what I'd like you to do now is pause the video and I'd like you to talk about these pictures with your helper about different facts. So I said about the crocodile, a crocodile has sharp teeth. Think of another fact for the crocodile. Off you go. Well done. You could say a crocodile crawls on his tummy. You could say a crocodile has 2 eyes on his head. You could say a crocodile has a long mouth. You could say a crocodile has spikes on his back. They are all facts. It's true. Now, have a think about the rainbow. Well done. So a fact about a rainbow is we could say a rainbow has a curved sides. You could say in the rainbow are different colours. You could say a rainbow is in the sky. They are facts. We haven't used our imagination. It's a fact. So let's have a think. So our lollipop, Eric Carle talks about the hungry caterpillar eating a lollipop. Do we think that's a fact? Did he base that on a fact? Is that true? Do caterpillars eat lollipops? Or did he use his imagination? That's right. He used his imagination, and that means that it's fiction. It isn't true. It's not based on fact. It isn't true. It's fiction. So we're going to see if we can find any other facts or any other bits of fiction. Let's have a look. Okay. So in the beginning of the story, Eric Carle, the author, the man who wrote the story, talks about a little egg lying on a leaf. Now, is that based on fact? Did Eric Carle find out that caterpillars start off their life as eggs? Or did he make it up? Is it fiction? Do caterpillars not come out of eggs? What do you think? That's right. It is based on facts. Caterpillars start life as eggs, and often they start life as eggs on a leaf, just like in the story. So even though Eric Carle has made up this egg, he's based it on fact. He found out a fact that caterpillars' eggs start off on a leaf, and he put that into his story. So from this, we can learn that caterpillars start off life in an egg and often on a leaf. Now, in the story, the caterpillar ate through an apple. Disappeared. He ate the lot. Now, I wonder if that's based on a fact. Do caterpillars really eat apples in real life? Or is that fiction? Did Eric Carle, the man who wrote the story, did he use his imagination and made that up, just like the lollipop? What do you think? Let's find out. It is a fact. So Eric Carle found out what caterpillars really eat. And he put that into his story. So it's based on a fact. caterpillars do like to eat fruit and not just apples. See if that can help you with other little parts of the story. Now, reception. In this lesson, we've talked about fiction. See if you remember, what's fiction? When we use our imagination in a story. Well done. When something isn't true. And we talked about fact, something that is true. So Eric Carle, the man who wrote the story, bases parts of his book on fact, things that are real about caterpillars, but other things aren't real at all. And he's used his imagination. It's fiction. So what you're going to do now is look at these pictures that I've sent your helper, and you're going to talk about which bits you think are facts and which bits you think are fiction. So which parts has the author, Eric Carle, based on fact, what really happens with a caterpillar, and which bits definitely don't happen with a caterpillar, which bits are fiction. And I want you to sort those out. And later in the week, we will be finding out which ones are fiction and which ones are facts. See you later. Bye.